As you might have noticed down there, my channel name is Sally in Wonderland, and that's because I originally intended to start this channel as a travel channel. But then this global thing happened, and so I've been uploading other videos, but I thought, why not bring it back to its roots since I'm traveling from Sydney to Hong Kong and I'm going to document it. If you're interested, please stick around. As some of you may know, Australia has an exit ban. So in order to leave Australia, you need to apply for an exemption. So that's what I did. I applied for an exemption under the reason of leaving for 3 months or more for a compelling reason. And my application was approved the first time round. So with that, I booked my tickets, booked my 14-day hotel quarantine in Hong Kong. Hong Kong recently created this new group called Group D, where people arriving from Australia, Singapore, and New Zealand are able to quarantine for 14 days instead of the standard 21 days. It was the same for anyone, regardless of vaccination status. So I haven't been vaccinated yet because Australia's rollout is incredibly slow. But yes, I'm here for 14 days. I'm going to be taking you through the whole process, starting with back home in Sydney. I'm almost packed. This is my big bag. Everything is in plastic bags. A can of pineapple because I'm going to be doing 14 days of quarantine and I don't know how much fruit I'm going to get. So yeah, let's go. As you can see, I've packed all this stuff to bring with me, 3 months worth of things. There is a chance that I might be stuck out overseas for longer than 3 months, so everything I packed a little more of, like for example, contact lenses, food, and toiletries. I don't usually pack this heavy, but I thought that was necessary given the circumstances. We're in the domestic terminal now, driving through this way to the international terminal. Usually the drive there is full of traffic, and outside the airport there's heaps of people, heaps of cars, you know, dropping off people, picking up people, and it's a wild rush. But today it was so empty. I was very lucky that my family was able to send me off at Sydney International Airport. We are in the international airport now, going to check in. As you can see here, it was a ghost town. There was barely anybody in this usually bustling place, and everybody had a mask on. That's a requirement, by the way. It was only at the check-in counter that there were some signs of life. I usually like to arrive a little bit later for check-in, usually within the last hour, although I don't recommend that. It's because I usually pack light and, you know, the whole process is quite streamlined. But this time I got there 3-4 hours early, and thank goodness I did because checking in took so long. There was so much paperwork to fill in and QR codes to scan, and the airline staff had to check my exemption and check my hotel quarantine booking because that's the only requirement for Group D to go to Hong Kong, which is having 14 days booked at an approved hotel quarantine. There's a rotating list of about 30 or so hotel quarantine places that's been approved by the government, so you have to book at one of these places. They had me email them my hotel booking. I had it printed out and I also had it on my phone, but that wasn't enough. They had me email it to the airline, and they called Canberra to make sure that my exemption was indeed valid. Everything took a really long time, but given that there were about 100 something passengers flying on a plane that could fit just under 400, it kind of balanced out. I was also in a bit of a hurry to get through check-in because I had 2 friends meeting me at the airport. Going through security was really easy. There were not many people at all. The flight itself was 20 minutes delayed. The captain said that it was because there's all this new paperwork that people had to do. Once we disembarked, we had to put our masks on. At this stage, I wasn't able to get as much footage because there were a lot of checkpoints where it said no phones or cameras allowed, and you know, I was a foreigner in a new country during this period, so I didn't want to cause any commotion. Also, my carry-on bag wasn't a wheelie, it's a country road bag that I sling across my shoulder, and it was really heavy. It had all my laptop, camera equipment, electronics, batteries, stuff like that. So it was quite heavy, and I was juggling that. They put us onto an airport train and we went to go through security. The first thing was security. And then after security, I think it was the health check. They gave us so many, They gave us so many papers. In it were information about the hotel quarantine and rules about it and when we were expected to get tested. So for me, after I leave hotel quarantine on the 14th day, I still have to go get a corona test myself on the 19th day. And then off I went to get my swab. It might be hard for you to believe, but I've actually gone through this whole time, over a year and a half almost, without getting a corona test. So it was my first one. I was really worried because I heard stories about how people said like they jam it right up your nose and your nose bleeds and it hurts, and so I was getting ready for that. But it was really easy. The person barely put it in much at all. They did both nostrils and inside the mouth, and then they send you off to this waiting area where you're assigned a seat. You sit there until the results come out. I waited altogether for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. By that time I was getting pretty hungry, but all of my food was in my check-in luggage, so I wasn't able to access that. I think they were giving out free sandwiches because I saw this mother leave her seat and come back with sandwiches. I saw sandwich packages on other people's seats, but I wasn't sure and I didn't really want to get up and walk around. Anyway, after our test results came out, we went through immigration. After that, they sent us to these lines depending on what hotel you booked, and there's government buses that cut you off to jail. I mean, hotel quarantine. The drive from the airport to my hotel, which is the Hotel Jen by Shangri-La, was about 40 something minutes. It was quite long, and by then I was feeling the sleeplessness. Checking in at the hotel was pretty intense. This is me when I first arrived in this room. After flying here and then going through all the security and checking and corona testing, I'm finally in my hotel room. I'm at the Hotel Jen and I'll show you around a little bit. This is the bathroom. It's got a shower and a bath and towels. So a queen bed was booked, but they must have ran out of queen beds, so they gave me 2 single beds, which is okay because I'm going to be here for 2 weeks and they can't do any housekeeping. So what my plan is to use 1 bed for 1 week and then the second bed for my second week, so I can be relatively clean. There's also a day bed that I can chill on or maybe do a bit of exercise on, look out at the world outside. Although this view isn't the best, but I can still see the street and I can still see people going about their business. And no, we're not allowed to open the windows. The windows don't open. They gave me 2 5-liter bottles of water. After it runs out, you're able to get 1 standard water bottle per day. Otherwise, it's boiled tap water or you can buy water yourself. The food came and I discovered that they have cutlery in plastic wrapping. Okay, let's see what our first meal of the day is. It's very hot temperature wise. So there's some veggies, a lot of rice. I did read in the reviews that there were a lot of rice. And some tofu and I think chicken in a kind of gravy thing. I just got my dinner delivered. Look at the portion of rice compared to the meat dish and the veggies. The veggies look like they're the same from lunch. And the meat, it looks like fish. It does seem a bit soggy. It smells like a sweet and sour fish. But look, I got a pear. First fruit of the day. Although I ate a mandarin that I brought with me. Okay, here I have some spinach that I bought from Australia. And I picked one that's gonna last longer. So it says used by the 9th of May. And today is only the 4th of May. But you know, it's already survived going through a flight. So I'm just gonna open it now and add it to my dish. I don't know what I'm gonna do after my veggies run out. That looks so much better. Okay, time to eat. And the dinner seemed okay at first, but then I found a hair in it. I found a hair in the sweet and sour fish. So that just killed my appetite and yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video. We're going to end on the first day of hotel quarantine in Hong Kong. Thank you for watching and make sure you subscribe because I'm going to be documenting more of my hotel quarantine adventures. Not quite sure you could call it an adventure, but what have you. And also for content after I leave, I think that might be a little bit more exciting. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and also click the bell notification button and give this video a like. Okay, I'm off to chill some more in jail. Bye!